to you live from the mountains of smoke. Firekeeper recovery bringing you hope. If you're living in darkness, look for the light, cause our fire is burning to helping you fight. It's the firekeepers, the firekeepers, 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 recovery. Bumpin' BG, talk recovery. Firekeepers, firekeepers.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Firekeeper Recovery. I'm Brant.
Bumper Smith.
And today we got a special guest with us, Marshall Bradley.
Hello.
And we're going to check in real quick and then we'll let you know why Marshall's here. So I had a good weekend, holiday weekend. Was in the present. That's my new thing, trying to be in the present.
Yeah, living the now.
Yeah, I was outside just feeling the sun on the skin, listening to nature and all that type of stuff. And it made me want to do a video, so that's like the video I did yesterday, like the heart like a truck thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's giving me like a new clarity. So that's what I had a great.
Like in Wayne's World when he used to say, live in the now. All right, so my week was great. It's same old, that routine, that the flow of life that I've got going on right now in my recovery. It's fucking sweet. My kids are off to the beach this week with my sister, so it's going to be a lot of downtime for me. I'm going to have to pick up an extra activity. God forbid, exercise or something, physically healthy or physically demanding. But yeah, it's been good.
I'm doing good. Had a good week, and I've just been working and taking care of my little boy and doing the flow of life, like you said.
Heck yeah, that's good to hear. That routine keeps us all just like,
Yep, it does.
okay. And when that gets broken, that seems like
You gotta
that's
have
when
that.
stuff goes haywire.
Yep.
So like a holiday week, we're gonna be messing up that routine.
You okay?
Yeah, so just thanks for being here on this holiday week.
So today we're gonna kind of interview Marshall a little bit and got a set of questions I'm gonna ask him about his recovery journey. And anyway, I guess I'll start with the first one. Marshall, what was it that turned the tide for you to move out of active addiction into recovery? That took you from being wishy-washy or teetering about it to just doing the damn thing, as they say.
Well, I had burned all my bridges. I had lied, cheated, stole from everyone. And I mean, there was nowhere else to go when my son was born. And I guess just looking in his eyes and just wanting a better life,
Yeah.
And just, I didn't know how to get it, and I knew I couldn't be around him if I was a user. So I just went and started it and actually fell off once and picked myself back up and got back on it. But yeah, there was nowhere else to go. I mean, it was pretty bad.
That's such a significant moment in that when you said you began your recovery journey and had a return to use, but stopped at that one use and got back on track with your recovery.
Well, that one use was about 3 weeks, but the shame of it almost kept me out there.
Yeah.
I swear it did. I mean, just ashamed to go back to Anonishki and say, look, I messed up, help me out. But I did, and thank God for my wife, man. She wasn't my wife then, but she accepted that, yeah, it happens, it's part of it.
Yeah.
She knew that, and she was great about it, and she helped me, and I went to Sheena, man. Sheena was awesome.
Yeah, she is.
I mean, she advocated for me. I'd been through her about 12, 13 times, and they were just almost done with me.
Yeah.
Said it wasn't for me, it wasn't going to help me. And she really, really advocated for me, so I owe her my life.
Yeah, she's done that for a lot of us.
Yeah, and she's very good.
So that's probably one of the biggest changes about this attempt at recovery is that support system. Your wife, kid.
Oh.
You probably didn't have it.
Oh, no. I had it before, but I wouldn't go get it. I absolutely stayed away from my family. I didn't want to hear what they had to say, but I did now, and I mean, my family and my wife's family have been so, I mean, they've been the main part of it, really, giving us a place to stay at first and stuff, and a sober place to stay. Because, I mean, if not, I know I wouldn't have lasted a week out there. I mean, you got to hold yourself accountable when you're in somebody else's house.
Absolutely.
I mean, you got to.
Their house, their rules.
You know, that's right. And you can't sit there and nod out on somebody's at their table. I mean, yeah, they were they had a big part of it.
This was right around the time when we were both riding transit in the
Look,
morning, right?
look,
And
dude.
even trying to talk to me and shit.
Yeah.
Aggravating me.
Yeah, he was having a hard time at the time.
Yeah, that was.
I knew it. I knew what was going on with him, and I'd try to make him talk, and he wasn't trying to have that.
And I was trying to, like, put up that facade. I'm like, no, I'm not using. Not at all.
You can't fool me. I know.
Damn bouncing the mind.
Yeah.
Can't see still.
Looking everywhere but in my eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew. But yeah, I rode the transit for a year and a half. Just a boxing. I mean, and people say, oh, I don't want to ride, I don't have to ride. Yeah, you do. I said, look, I rode it for a year and a half. They wouldn't not give me take home even.
Yeah.
I mean, they barely give me enough for weekends. But yeah, you gotta want it.
You gotta take that initiative, and you have to participate in your own recovery.
Oh, you gotta, yes, but you gotta be very active in
All right, so the second question, and I might have already got the answer for it, but what were the things that were most helpful to your recovery from your support system, like your family and friends?
Just that, I guess the more sober I got, the more sober time I got, the more I could see that they really wasn't downing me and talking down to me. They just wanted me to do better. They knew I could do better.
Yes.
And before that, and make it where you see the bad. You don't see the good that people's trying to do.
Right.
You want to see the bad so you can go back out and keep using.
Right.
I mean, it gives yourself an excuse and cut yourself a break so you don't feel so damn bad.
And justifications.
Yeah. And I seen it for what it was, man. Everybody bent over backwards to help me, and they have for years. I just wouldn't let myself see it.
Right. And so, what's some of the things you are proud of and or grateful for in your recovery?
Oh my God. I am so grateful that I'm able to help my daughter who's in recovery. I never showed her before, never showed her one thing for her to ever be straight. But I can help her now. Got a home, got a car. My son has never seen me use, never seen me high. My mom can lay down and go to bed at night and not wonder if I'm gonna be alive in the morning.
She go get that call.
Yeah, and I'm just so grateful. And I'm grateful for being able to be on this. And maybe somebody might hear it, might want to help talk to me. Anybody sees me out, come talk to me. I'll talk to you.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, I'm all about it. I mean, I don't want to be wishy-washy about anything. I'm appreciative of where I'm at right now.
Yeah. In life. So your gratitude levels are just through the roof when you reach a certain time in your recovery.
Yeah, well, you've got to be grateful, man. I mean,
Keeps you grounded.
yeah, it does.
It's almost like a checklist of things that are at risk if you were to have a return to use.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, you don't want to mess. I don't want to mess up that, and I don't want to break nobody's heart.
Yeah.
I sure don't want to die. That's what it is now. It's pretty much dead.
Yeah. And we're much more aware of the suffering and the pain that our actions or our bad choices actually have on our loved ones. We're much more aware of it now.
Oh, yeah, I really am. I know people in active addiction that I really worry about now. And before, I was right there with them. And you didn't worry. You didn't care about yourself much less someone else.
Yeah. So, what are some of the challenges you faced in your early recovery journey, and how did you overcome them? How did you deal with them?
The biggest challenge that I faced in my early recovery was a phone. Because I knew I could get on there, I could get anything I wanted, and I didn't have one. I didn't have one for like the first 6 months of my recovery. I did not even get one. I just, I'd use my mom's or use Jolina's because it was that bad, and just staying at home and getting paid was a challenge. Getting paid was a big challenge. I worked at BOC, and I would get paid and go buy a TV right off the bat and try to spend every bit of money I could.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have any. And
Yeah.
I mean, I'd buy my cigarettes. I smoked then. I quit smoking now, but I smoked, and I'd buy what I needed for the next couple of weeks and just be done with money. I couldn't have it. I mean, it was a big trigger.
So that really showed some good decision making. You know, the kind of like two different aspects of accountability. You know, you knew a phone was a huge trigger for you, so you just didn't have one. And also having money, damn, a fistful of money and not know what to do with it. And if your mind wanders, you know, it starts to get into those old places, you know, just who you can reach out to, or whatever.
Like I said, I relapsed, and the reason I relapsed was the phone, and I realized that if I hadn't had that phone, I wouldn't have took the step, and it wouldn't have snowballed the way it did.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard to do nowadays it's hard to do then without a phone, but you can do it if that's what's causing it for you, and it was a big thing with me.
Yeah. All right, so the answer to this was probably obvious, but where would you be without your recovery?
I'd be dead. I mean, there's absolutely no doubt in my mind that I would be dead, because that's where I was at the end of my addiction. My active addiction is every time I would do a shot, I would hit the ground and I would come to, Jolene would be sitting there crying, smacking me. And I mean, I'm not even exaggerating. I mean, I would OD every time I would do it, because I was so greedy and so addictive. I was scared if I just put a little, I wouldn't get high enough or wouldn't get better, and somebody else might get more than me. I mean, I was a greedy person, and she was ready to leave me because of that also. I mean, because I was gonna die.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's a very easy question. I mean, yeah.
I think that's likely true for all of us that are in recovery now. You know, if we'd continued in our active addiction, I mean, that's exactly where we'd end up, or lifelong residents in the Gray Bar Hotel. You know.
Yeah. Well, I've spent plenty of time in there too, and the game has changed from what it used to be 10 years ago. You could relapse and go get a pill, and it wouldn't kill you. I mean, you go get a pill and fall, oh, well, I fell off again. I did a pill. I got you go now and you do something. It could very well be your last thing you do. I mean, fentanyl has changed it all the way around. Yeah. And I mean, it was bad back 10 years ago. It was bad 5 years ago. It's 10 times worse now, from what I understand.
And it's, you know, somebody's in jail long enough where their tolerance reaches baseline, and then they come out, you know, and the first thing, you know, which having the disease of addiction, I mean, that's really what you want to do, you know. You want to do is restart using, and once your tolerance reaches baseline and you attempt to use an amount that you were using before you went in, you know, it's lethal. It's lethal. It'll take your life.
And a lot of people probably like this too. got a point, I was doing a point. I mean, that's just how it was. I mean,
All or nothing.
yes, I mean, that's how I kind of am on my recovery now. It's all or nothing.
You gotta be.
I mean,
You're good. You gotta be. That's it.
I mean, I'm addicted to food now, as you can obviously tell. I mean, but, and it'll kill you too, but I mean, much rather die eating than what the other would be.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Got any plans for tomorrow? Where you work?
I don't work. I go back to work Wednesday night. Oh, start a new job. But,
Congratulations on that.
and I mean,
You want to mention?
yeah, I started working on my resident tech up at the hospital at Detox and on the skin patient. And love it so far, and hopefully I can talk to people, make an impact a little bit. You know? I mean, I kind of got carried away on my job. I mean, I appreciate my job. That's all it cares to me. Cooked down there 2 years, but I lost sight of like wanting to be there for work, wanting to be in recovery. And hopefully I can get that back on track.
I think so. I imagine, like, you know, with the work that I do, the work that you're doing now, and things that Brant's doing, you know, there's just like a strong desire for all of us in recovery to want to, you know, give back to the community and people that are still struggling with their addictions. And hopefully them seeing us and remembering how we used to be and seeing us now, you know, maybe it gives them that inspiration to want to join us in recovery.
I just heard the other night, if you can do what I can, I said, yes, you can. I said, you sure can. But you gotta quit. I mean, it's so simple, but it's so hard.
Yeah.
It's so hard. There's so much in it. Your whole life's gonna change. I mean, it's easy, but it's so hard.
I think maybe that with so much change that's necessary, because you got to change people, places, and things. I mean, even working on the things that you need to heal from, the things that, you know, that you were using to try to avoid or suppress or whatnot. All that can be pretty scary for somebody who's still, you know, in long-term active addiction, because as chaotic and dysfunctional and fucked up as addiction was, it was familiar. Anything that's familiar to you feels like it feels safe.
Right.
Like, I feel safe. I'm familiar with.
I know this.
Yeah. Whereas recovery early on, it's like, you know, you're not sure what's going to happen, what, you know, how things are going to get done. But that's why people like us are there.
Right.
You know, to act as signposts. And like, hey, this is where we're going to go. This is what you do. It works for me. Try different things. Find what works for you. As long as it works for you, it keeps you in recovery.
Right. And just because it worked for me don't mean it's going to work for you. You do what you got to do, but just do it. And I used to always think, well, I can go and I can hang out. I don't have to use. I don't have to use. No, I could not. And 99% of people can.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go around the people, places, and things you used to do, you'll probably fall off. I mean, it's not a good recipe for recovery at all.
Yeah.
And then you get where you don't want to be in those places.
Yeah.
I mean, you just rather not, man. I mean, because, I mean, it's like watching a train wreck or something, really.
I think being in recovery, it gives you, you know, like you're the gatekeeper, you know, that you determine how much or if, you know, if any bullshit you allow in your life. And
Right.
as a gatekeeper in your recovery, you know, you all this stuff I know is not good for it, you know, doesn't come in. Whereas the people you used to hang out with or old places you used to hang out at or whatever it is.
I don't, it's nothing against anybody, but I don't give people rides. I don't give money. I'll buy something to eat, stuff like that. So I'll buy you a drink, whatever. But I just can't have it in my life now. I mean, if I give someone a ride and they drop something, my son got it. I mean, I've got to look at other things besides just my health now.
Absolutely.
And it's good that I can see that and do that, because I was never that person, and it makes me sound like a piece of shit, because I've got older kids that I didn't show this to, and well, they're working on it, but I mean, I don't want to bring them in nothing, but no.
The beautiful thing about it now is that you are where you are in your recovery, and I've mentioned this a bunch of times on these podcasts, you know, just how much respect I have for couples that were in active addiction, transition, recovery, that stuck it out, get it together, and are doing well now. And I just have such a high regard for, you know, you and Jolene and other couples that have done it. You know, I can imagine what challenges that were there, but you guys made it.
A lot of people don't. I mean, a lot of couples don't, because you're like, God, I can't stand you. But, I mean, but no, my wife, she's very good, and she's very supportive. She's the nicest person I know. She's helped me so much. I wouldn't be here without her. I would not. I've got to give her props.
Hell yeah.
I mean, really.
Shout out to Jolene.
I never wanted to be sober. I enjoyed it. But that was the blinders that puts on you too, man. You can't see what's really good at the time, you know?
Yeah. Or you didn't know what you wanted.
Yeah, I mean, you wanted what you see everybody else got, but maybe didn't want to put the work in to get there.
Or didn't think you deserved it either.
Yeah.
That's not for me. Well, I already messed up once. So
Yeah.
I'll try it again.
I mean, hell, I'm 53 years old, man. I was in active addiction for 35 years. I mean, hard years. I was an alcoholic, which I'm still alcoholic, but I haven't drank in like 13 years. And I quit that to move on to bigger and better things like heroin. I mean, but yeah, I'm happy to be where I'm at, doing great, and just got to thank my whole family for that.
It's damn good to see you Jolene doing as well as you are. It's beautiful feeling and happy and fucking reaching goals, and it's great, man.
It's very great. It's a good life. I wish it for everybody. And if I could talk to anybody and help anybody to daggone get where I'm at, man, or any of us are at. I mean, it's very satisfying when you can go to bed and know what tomorrow holds, for the most part. I mean, everybody gets life surprises, but you can handle them now, you know, and it's good, and I never imagined it could be as good as it is.
You want to sleep with the clear conscience, and you know who you worry. You know, just maybe like just regular shit. You know, like yeah, you bill coming up on Tuesday, or but like you said, you can manage it. You know, that's shit.
And it's not. Yeah, you get rough patches. Everybody does. I mean, you get different things in the way, but you can deal with them now. You don't try to just push them back in the back behind the shot of And I mean, yeah, it's just good. You know how to deal with it. You don't have to have that chasing you anymore.
And you learn the skills along the way to deal with life's little surprises, or you know, if something happens to be triggering for you. You know?
Yeah, you learn to talk and communicate is what it is. I mean,
I just hate your feelings.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Process things, just bottling them up or drowning them out with something.
Yeah, that's what I like about your story too. Is like an example of the system not giving up on you. Some want to, but you had your act. Yeah, that's why I'm glad that there are people like Shannon, the other peers of her that see the work that we have done.
Right.
She knows that you have changed since them early times. That first 2 times you came in,
Right.
10, 12 times. Like, this man's changed. So that's what I'm glad, because I've seen it too. Just like,
Were you were in that way for like a fucking year and a half?
For real, they would not give me my taste boxes that they call me. I had to go every year, but that was a stipulation.
yeah.
And
you made it.
well, I was glad for it, because if not, I wouldn't have had anything, and I know I'd have been right back out there. That's why everybody, they're like, oh, all these rehabs, they're not doing anything. They are doing something. They do. You pick something up every time you go.
Yeah.
I went to about 2 or 3 different rehabs, and one time beat my mom and them back from Memphis almost. They were real happy. But I mean, but you pick something up every time you go, and it's like, I don't know. It's like, don't give up on them, man. They'll get it hopefully before they die. But just I'm so Tashina. She's an angel. She really helped me, and I'll do anything she asks. I mean, she's good people.
Yeah, she went to bat for me all the times that I was in and out of the Suboxone program. And yeah, she's great, man. She don't get the credit she deserves, you know.
Yeah,
she's the one that saw me at my best friend's funeral and told me to get my ass back down there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's where I've been there ever since 5 years ago. So yeah.
Yeah, we got in about the same time. How much clean time you got?
I got about 5 years and since March.
Okay. You got 3 months longer than I do. I just picked up 5 years on the 13th of
Yeah, see,
June.
we had a good
Hell
group.
yeah.
We had a good group. We had, well,
Yeah, right.
But there's people still there now, like, and they're getting ready. I hope they're gonna get into it. I'm pushing them towards it. Anybody
Right.
that want to.
Yeah.
Their voice is a different voice that can affect different people. And that's why I'm glad you're here with us today, because I think you're gonna help different people than we could.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why I'm trying to show different voices, and that's like there's different ways to do it, because I'm doing it a different way, he's doing it a different way, and you're doing it a way, and we're making it the same places, but your happiness is different. But it's sort of similar. It's got that family.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're working for, but it's also yourself. And I'm just having to work for myself, so maybe I could get to that next step of where Yen's already at. So that's
Absolutely, man. Yeah, it's recovery's like tailor made for the individual. You know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of similarities, but a lot of things that are unique to each person. So.
If there's no step, the steps are. There's 12 steps in recovery, but you don't have to take them all the same way. I guess, some people walk up 2 at a time.
All right.
And some people have to go to a rehab center. Some people have to go to meetings weekly,
Yeah.
daily at first. And I mean, I did, and I really enjoyed going to meetings. But it got to where at my job I was at, there were a couple of people in recovery, and we would like have impromptu meetings with each other. If you got 2 people, you got to meet.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, talk about sobriety instead of talking about getting high or something. I mean, sometimes you get war stories, but
Yeah.
I mean, if you talk, the more you talk about it, the more it's out there, and you can work on it.
Yeah.
I feel like that a lot.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that.
Yeah, because that's what a lot of this was for me. Starting was my therapy.
Right.
Doing like, if you don't have nobody to talk to, I just talk to the camera.
Right.
So nobody has to talk back. It's just getting it out.
Yeah. Process.
Yeah, so that's why I thank Bumper for doing that. This is part of my therapy, and it's my
It helps me too. I mean, it's, I hate the sound of my own voice when I hear the recordings.
Oh, I'm sure I'm gonna hate it.
Yeah.
But
That's
look,
why you don't have to watch it. Just show it. Say, hey, watch it.
Right,
That's
right.
what I do. I just
Share it on
I-
Facebook.
I listen to where I have to edit, and then that's all right. No. So sometimes it's all messed up because I don't listen all the way.
right. He asked me if I'd come and do it, and I jumped at it because, I mean, like I said, I had lost my way on what I wanted to do, where I was wanting to go. I went a different way for a little bit, but trying to get back there with my peer support and help people. I lost my son a little over a year ago to an overdose, and if I can help somebody not die, or help somebody, mama and daddy, not feel the way I felt, then I'll do whatever it takes. And I mean, that's a different story. We'll talk about that one on another day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just want to help people and just be a voice for recovery, because it saved my life, man.
I think you make a hell of a contribution to the recovery movement, community in general, man.
Thank you.
Hell yeah, if you ain't got anything else.
Make safe decisions, smart decisions for 4th of July, you know. Enjoy it, but do it safely and wisely.
Yep, nothing for me except Rally
Rally
for Recovery, 2 weeks.
14.
No, yeah.
So 2 weeks, I guess we'll be down there flopping or walking around. We ain't gonna be flopping. But as always, check us out on Firekeeper Recovery on YouTube, Brant on Facebook, Big Native BG on all other social media, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, I guess, and email us at Res Life Recovery if you want to be on the show, or DM me on all them other things. And
Right.
if you ain't got nothing else, then always remember, this is Firekeeper Recovery, and we'll leave the light on for you. Eastern Bay, Cherokee, Firekeeper Recovery. We the firekeepers, the firekeepers, the firekeepers, the firekeepers. Yeah, coming to you live from the mountains of smoke. Firekeeper Recovery, bringing you hope. If you're living in darkness, look for the light, 'cause our fire is burning and they're helping you fight. It's the firekeepers, the firekeepers, 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 recovery. Bumpin' BG, talk recovery.